We are going to be hopping into another coaching session. If you guys would like coaching, make sure you check that join button down below. That is where the coaching is. And if you guys would like free VOD reviews, maybe you want to look at your replay and you want to see what's going on. If you want that for free, there's also a link down there too. So either way to help you improve, I'm here for you, but let's hop into it. All right. So why did you pick this game? I know you told me a little bit about it, but not really too much about why this was the particular one.
I had a Black Panther I literally had no idea how to deal with. And there was just like, there's a Cap, Mr. Fantastic, a Black Panther. I feel like I was just completely at loss during this game.
Okay. That's funny because I actually have a video coming out today about the 6 major mistakes that strategists make. So this is like dead on perfect actually. But yeah, those characters are annoying. What were we gonna say?
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's great to hear because I will definitely be watching that video.
Yeah, it's hard playing strategists, especially in high ranks. So that's where you're going right now. Well, actually, they're harder than they were last season. So you're probably playing with like Grandmasters now or Celestials or. Yeah, you say you're Diamond 1. You're definitely playing with those players now. So...
I'm Diamond 2. I'm not there yet. Okay. I'm Diamond 2.
You still should be playing with those players though. So it is getting harder. We're not gonna talk about that.
That just means that membership's worth it, right?
That's true. That's true. I appreciate it. Yeah, playing into divers at this rank is rough because they know how to get you to force your cooldown, and then they'll just come back and when you have nothing else left. So that's pretty much what it is a game of chicken when you're playing in these ranks. And so you really have to be confident that they're going to be looking for a kill secure on you or a KO secure. And if they're not and you waste it, you're in trouble. So that's what we're going to be kind of just paying attention more today. It's just like, is that what's happening right now? All right, let's get into it. Let's see. So we're defending at first. Let me just make sure my stuff is recording. I feel like sometimes it's not, and then I'm just trolling myself. All right. So we're going to be holding off on this spot. What makes you want to hold this spot and not somewhere near over there?
That's a good question. Like, I feel like now that you say that, probably to the right is a little bit, probably a little bit better position. But my thinking is just that the angle is so like removed from where the other team is. They have to do a lot to actually get me, like especially in this earlier part. In order for them to get me, they have to push so far up. They have to go like maybe past like that tank area to the right. I think that's what it is, right, to try to get me. So especially if I have a couple other healers, I don't know, I've used to holding this spot.
Okay, and then if they come from here, what is your plan if they decide to just swoop in from here?
Well, I guess you'll see what my plan is in a second, right?
Okay, dang.
No, I'm telling you. Hey, this one is rough, man. This one's rough. So this is why we're using it. Okay, we can learn to get better.
I got you. All right, let's roll. I'm not saying your stuff is bad. It's just, I want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my plan right there. Just back up and then go into my team.
Okay, so we gave up space, which is fine. You obviously couldn't hold it yourself. Did you ping that guy was there? Do you remember?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah. Whenever you're shoved off like that, especially because of the angle that you were taking, your team's not looking at. They're not looking up there. Just ping them. I don't usually ping. I try to ping consistently, but I don't do it as much as I did for like a game like League of Legends. I used to ping like crazy. But whenever I get pushed off or whenever I see someone sneaking, I'm going to ping just because my team needs to be aware that that's about to happen. Because all it takes right now is for them not to pay attention. She actually just used her enhanced ability, so he could just sideswipe all 3 of them. They're stacked on top of each other. That is the most freest triple I've ever seen. And if we ping, we're helping our team. Here that guy tries to go for you. I like that you went right into your team. Yes, that's what I like to see. Ignore him. Yes, that is it. Dude, the amount of people that are like trying to go up here and chase it, it's horrible. Don't do that. Just ignore him. He's going to come back. He's going to come back. You missed your chance to take him out. It happens, but we can't stop the whole game for that guy. So I like that you decided to ignore him. Try to play with your team a little bit more and still look to the front. Oh, that's rough. Good bind. Okay, we're gaming right now. All right, so after watching what you just watched, what was your thought process after you did your bind? But in terms of target selection, when you did that, I was curious on what you were thinking at that time.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I didn't really know who to shoot at because like the supports are so far in the back, and then I just kind of got lost. Like is when you go, it's like a restaurant. And there's a bunch of items on the menu. You don't know which one to choose. That's kind of what happened here.
I feel it though. Okay, so the easiest way to solve this is you want to take a brief look at their team comp here. Right, if we were to take out a specific character from this team comp, it's a straight up 6v6. Well, it's not because, you know, your guys KO'd, but just act like it's a 6v6. If we were to eliminate one person from each team, who would it be to stop the team fight, or at least make sure that you probably are going to win the team fight? One person only from each team.
I guess it would be the cloak, right?
From maybe. Your team?
Oh no! I was talking about from their team. Yeah,
okay.
I would say the cloak because I feel like they just have so much like utility. Like they can damage, they can blind people, they can heal. They have like AOE healing. Okay. From our team, at this moment, I mean, pretty much any of them. I feel like we're losing that because we're already down one person, right?
Well, if we lose anyone, it definitely would be this guy. If this guy gets done, then everybody loses. Yes, you're right. Like if anyone KOs, it's a wrap. But for the most part, like you guys can kind of hang on if Magneto stays relevant. If this guy's gone, it's done. However, for their team, it's moment to moment basis. So you're not really wrong in the sense of taking out the target, but we're not thinking about everything in this whole situation. So if we think about this, if we take out Cloak and Dagger, yes, it removes the healing, but let's look at their team one more time. What happens if we take out Cloak and Dagger?
Our Magneto is still gonna die. The Cap is still in the back line.
No. What happens if we KO Cloak and Dagger right now? Look at their team.
Oh, the Rocket, yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Well, he's gonna get res. She's gonna rest.
Exactly. So if that person's gonna get res, is this really the target we want to focus then?
No, not really.
Are either of these targets ones we want to focus?
No.
So the priority is Rocket right now.
Yeah.
That's what we should be looking for if we're looking to just KO somebody right at this instant. It always will change from second to second based off who has ult. Let's just say Cloak and Dagger had ult at this moment. Well, it's probably good to just, if we can get a KO, we set her back at least like 5 seconds. Maybe we can make something happen before she ults so we can win the fight in that 5-second window. However, in this particular scenario, more often than not, taking out that rocket is the best thing to do. So that way we can officially make it so it's a even fight. Is Rocket in our vision? Yeah, he's right there. So that is a hard shot, undoubtedly, but the way that he's playing, I'm pretty sure he's about to start walking forward into your shot anyway. He's barely moving. Yeah, you would have easily popped this dude. All it takes is a full charge into maybe you need to hit one more time. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can't KO someone instantly off of one charge. You need to smack an ult or a primary fire too, but correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of busted if you could just light someone up with that. So yeah, that would be the best bet here because you're not really providing anything other than sustainability. But what's that's gonna matter? You're basically just saying, hey, take a little bit longer to take us out.
Yeah. Right. So what you're saying is like in this moment, I should have kind of looked past all the people in front of me.
Yeah, for that brief second, because what you were doing was actually the correct decision, at least in my opinion. You know, someone else watching could be different. But in my opinion, you dropped down, you know, you're trying to fight, you seen Black Panther or whatever, you did what you could, then you put your bind on. Perfect, boom. Everything was step by step by step, perfect. However, when it came to the moment to win the team fight, playing a team fight is not just about keeping everybody healthy when you're playing strategists. You need to look for openings. That rocket gave you an opening to win this team fight. Look how low she is. If we took out that rocket, we take her out, maybe this would have been a different fight. So
yeah,
Yeah. Every single moment, every single second, you should be looking at how can I win? How can I win? How can I win? How can I win? It's never just I need to heal somebody. Sometimes it might be that for a second or two, like you did with that bind. You were thinking about healing them and then binding them. Cool, but that was for that moment. What next? That's where you need to put your mind at. So, all right. Captain America Gaming, per usual. Yeah, I know you see Black Panther. The way that you're playing now, is this your usual gameplay in the sense of if there's a threat behind us, my primary reaction is to just deal with that threat?
I think I heard him, so I was like turning to look to see if he was coming out. So like I was shooting over like where the other team was, and then I just like kept hearing it. So then I like turned. I was like, okay, he's not there. So then I directed my attention up front.
Well, if you hear him, you know he's there. So he really wouldn't have to check, right? What is you looking at him going to do?
So I guess what I was, I mean, is the other option to actually go like push the Black Panther as
No.
a Adam Warlock?
No,
Oh, okay.
definitely not. Definitely not. Let's just say I'm stalking. Well, he definitely was stalking. You hear me rummaging around. What is looking at me going to do? Is it going to scare me? Am I not? Is it going to say, "Oh, you caught me, swiper, no swiping"? Like, what is looking at me going to do?
Yeah, that's real.
Nothing, right?
Yeah.
The only way you can interact with him is if he goes. So why are we wasting 3 seconds, 4 seconds looking at him when we could be interacting over here until this dude decides to pop in? Once he pops in, we deal with him. Mm-hmm. And I'm only criticizing this so hard because I know what your goal is. You're not going to get to that goal if this is the type of stuff that we're doing, especially because it's even harder now. It's even harder now to get to that goal. So we really got to minimize this, because what happens if you look over here for 3 seconds and someone just gets one banged right here? And because you're over there, you don't notice it. That's rough. And we want to prevent that from happening. So let's go back and let's see what we could have done in that situation prior. So going to thing, running away per usual. You notice that he's there. You did the right thing, kind of looking around and see what's up. He's gone. From here, let's continue to go back and try to reposition and play with our team. However you want to do it is up to you. We know Cap is up there. We know that he's busy. You can come long ways and try to just get some shots this way. You can come this way. I would probably come this way because you have more cover over here. This particular wall can be broken. Like this little edge can be broken. But if Black Panther does decide to come to you, are you in any danger aside from that Black Panther?
Yeah, no, not really.
But if you are over here and Black Panther decides to come for you and then they start pushing, are you in any danger here?
Yeah, because the mag is right in front.
Yeah, he's also there. He can jump down. Now, you're not taking cover to just prevent all damage. That's never going to be the case. But to minimize it, at least you're dealing with 1, 2, Cap and Black Panther. Then you're dealing with 3, which would be Magneto, and possibly whoever decides to just run up with him.
Yeah.
You also get more of an angle and a view as well if you're not on top. If Black Panther decides to come in, do you think it's easier to land the shot if he's dashing here and here and you're over there? Or is it easier to land the shot if he's like going this way, like making you turn your camera constantly?
Yeah, that's true.
So always try to think ahead of the game and how you can solve a problem before it even happens. And where can you position yourself to prevent it from happening? I honestly probably wouldn't have dropped down for this particular moment either when you popped yourself over, just so I can do some damage to prevent them from pushing up. But there's no reason to talk about that just because you didn't do it. Hey, we're kind of in the same scenario of like, what is probably the best bet? What should we be doing? I know you want to take out Cap because, you know, he's low and he's in your backline. But are you needed right now?
Yeah, not really.
Right. It probably could be more useful over here. There's a beacon right there. You could snipe that.
Yeah.
You could snipe that. Is it used? Let me see. It's still there. That'd have been all you.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it got used, but regardless, that would have been a nice little beacon takeout. Let's see if there's anything else we could have done in that same time frame when we were looking at that cap. Okay, so we turn our camera. Was there anything else we could have participated in aside from trying to get that cap? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my! This dude is free.com.
Yeah.
You had it charged. He's done. He is done if you let it rip right now. And you're right there. There's no way you miss. But we're so focused on like trying to help everybody. You help players on your team by doing what's the most important thing to be done at this given time. There's no way that anybody KOs in this. No way. So we can try to use this cloak and dagger advantage to try to pressure out for our Magneto. Maybe make something happen up here. Yeah, Mr. Fantastic's back there, but I mean, again, you're not doing nothing with that. Is that just one of those moments where you're like, I want to kind of pad my KDA?
Probably. I do, like, when people are low, I generally try to finish them.
Okay. What happens when you KO somebody? No trick question. Just what happens?
Well, they have to respawn, right?
Right. So about 10 seconds and maybe about 10 to 15 seconds to get back. What happens if someone's low, like critically low, and they don't get KO'd?
If somebody's low and they don't get KO'd, they just go back and get healed.
Right. So in this particular scenario, when Cap is over here, a tank cannot get full HP off of a health pack. It's probably like 1/4. Do you think Cap was going to get a health pack and then run back in here on 1/4 HP?
No.
Right. So he's going to grab the health pack, run away. He's going to try to come up here. He's going to try to go all the way back to his team. Right. And then he gets healed here. Do you think that that's kind of almost the equivalent to being KO'd?
Yeah, it's essentially the same thing.
Right. So again, every single time you do anything, that is seconds on a different, like that is seconds taken away from whatever is in front of you. And this goes for every single role. Does not matter. Whenever you say, hey, I'm going to spend my time doing X, there's always an effect. Always. Because what's going to happen in another area where that time could have been spent? You're never going to get it perfect every single match. Don't get me wrong. But you can try your best to just do the best you can. Because sometimes that one moment that you decide to do what you did is going to be way more beneficial. As I said, if you would have just forgotten about that Captain America because you're like, oh, he's low, he's not going to be able to play the game anymore, and you just turned around, that's a free person out. So that's 2 characters out.
Yeah.
And then you could have proceeded, because Mr. Fantastic is back there bouncing around, you can proceed to take out these guys. So it essentially would be a way better fight for you guys if we just would have taken out that one person. Or if we would have just turned around. So you're repositioned perfectly fine. Oh wait, got any questions or anything about it? Anything that we talked about?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah.
I don't want you to feel like, oh, I just gotta be quiet. No, say whatever you need to say.
No, we're good.
You just dip out. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Don't even look back. They're just, they're KO'd. Fight is lost. Don't even get baited. Like, that, we gotta give it. So what we would do in this situation is just ping back. Because if someone does something stupid, you're about to lose even more space. It's just not worth it. Yeah, that boy is waiting. I was going to say, you're getting kind of baited. You're so focused on what that Iron Fist is doing, and he's not going to accomplish anything. There's no way he accomplishes anything there. Whereas this guy could sideswipe, and you just be KO'd.
Yeah.
Or you'd be wasting an ability, and, you know. But as you back up, he KO'd you. I knew that was going to happen. But as you back up and reposition, then you guys have the ability to play the game again. Find a better spot to hide, find a better spot to take cover, and then reset. That's basically all that this game is whenever you're playing Convoy or Convergence. It's really just a, we fought in one area, all right, or maybe we didn't fight, but we just can't fight there. We back up, look for the next spot to hold down. And it's just a game of bunker each time. Where's the next best spot to take cover? Where's the next best spot to take cover? And that's pretty much all it is. Now this is hard mainly because you guys only have one tank. Oh, okay, now we swap. Why do people do that? Why would you throw 2 points away? Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into it.
What happened?
The dude swaps the tank after you guys are having a hard time. After we get 2 points. Like, bro, you might as well just stay Iris. Like what's going on? I hate that. I hate that so much because it's like you could play tank. You knew you could play tank, and you just decided to play DPS and make the game harder for everybody. Like, it's really hard to defend with one tank on these types of games. So pretty much we're just stacking on top of each other. Whenever you're dealing with it kind of sucks because it's a little bit counterintuitive, but you don't really want to stack versus some characters. You want to make sure that if they go in to take one target out, that one target is the one being taken out, and that's that. Whenever you add multiple people into that equation, you, Luna, maybe another character, now all you guys need HP. It's much easier to just heal one person than it is to heal all three at the same time.
Yeah.
So try not to stack too much and really start spacing yourself out a little bit more. That was pretty much what I was talking about. You don't want him to have the ability to chain into another character, into another character, into another character.
Yeah.
In this particular instance, kind of where would you stand? Because, like, obviously you didn't really have much room to wiggle to. You would have to try to figure out, well, you could have came out this way, firstly. But since you didn't, how would we react to this situation beforehand?
So like once I see the Black Panther like kind of dive in, if you let it play, I'll just kind of back up more on that like rocky area instead of just walking towards the Black Panther like you said. So like we're stacking, I'll just kind of back up a little bit.
You're talking about towards the right over here or towards the left over here? Or towards the right?
So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Exactly. You want to make sure that you're also... So Black Panther is very flexible. There's like... Every character has a specific way to play against them. Every single one. And in order for you to be a really good strategist and avoid being taken out by these characters, you have to understand how they work. It doesn't mean you have to play the character, but you have to understand the fundamentals about how the character's attacks work. Do you know how his attacks work?
Yeah, so he marks you with the arrow, and then if you dash through the marked player, then you get another arrow, or you get another dash.
You get another dash, but how exactly? Like, what exactly does that look like, though? Like, can he turn? Like, how does his dash look? Is it just something like this, where it's like boop? Is it something where he can kind of like wiggle it around and maybe go in a different direction, maybe curve it? Like, how do you think his dashes come out?
So he has two. He has one that he can kind of like control in the air, like the tornado looking one, and then he has the regular straight line one.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. And so as we're positioning right here, if we were to back up in this direction, does this protect you?
I think it makes it harder for him. Well, kind of, because then like he's already going to the right in that like direction in front of him. So once he dashes there, if he dashes back, in order for him to get to me, he has to throw like the spare towards me, and then like I feel like I am a little bit protected because it makes it like way harder for him to kind of get to me.
Do you want it to be harder to get to you, or do you want to be safe?
So yeah, I'd say I wanted to be safe.
Right. And so if we know that all this guy has to do is do this, come back, maybe tornado kick into you and let that chain combo rip, what can we do to prevent that from happening? Because we're hiding, but we're still there. So what else can we do? Not a trick question. Not a trick question.
Yeah. I would say maybe try and take height, but I'm not sure where I would do that here and still have sideline on the healers.
No, he'll still be able to run up and get you. You already explained what his kit is and how it works. So in order for us to be safe, we have to not be there. Right? So this is us understanding spacing. If we space out far enough, he can't get to us regardless. As much as he would love to, he cannot. He would have to sacrifice his tornado kick into a dash. If he does all that to get to you, he has nothing left to KO you. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So we would space out. So you don't really need to use any cover. You just need to back up more.
Yeah.
Once you're here, you can still fight the guy. You can still assist with healing, but you're just not in his dash range. That's all you have to do. And this works for every single character. This works for Spider-Man, this works for Black Panther, Magic, etc., etc. Each character that's a diver has a specific way to get to you and a specific way to handle you once they're there. If you understand how they work and understand their ranges, it's extremely hard to get to you. Extremely hard to get to you. When you're hiding behind cover, that doesn't mean they can't get to you. The only way you can make sure you're 100% safe is by not being there in the first place. This is why repositioning as a support or as a strategist is important, because when you see them coming, you reposition to get out of the range of that character. If you continue to reposition, they're going to continue to waste time because they can't gap close that. It's impossible. But this is why we have to know how that gap close works. When it comes to characters like Cap, you can't outrun that guy. He's going to get to you. But the thing that he has is a very, very small hitbox. So what you do is you run in circles around him, and it's very hard for him to get you because the hitbox is extremely small. But not a lot of people know that. But every character has a way to avoid, and you need to figure that out so you can position well enough. Just being stacked together is not a way to secure any secure yourself from not being KO'd. And just because you have that bind does not mean that you should want to use it every single time because someone's in danger. If you just space yourself out, only one target's in danger, and Adam Warlock is a great burst healer, there's no way they KO because you're not even there. You don't have to worry about healing yourself. And you know that the more that it starts bouncing around, the less effective that healing is. So this is why we space out. That dude is thirsty. He is still like just Jesus. Okay, so you see him, unfortunately. Trying to react to him. Nice. I love that. I love that. I love that. I don't know what you were thinking. I'm going to ask just so that way we can replicate this if this is what you were thinking. So what were you thinking? When that whole deal just played out, what were you thinking?
I think it was just like because I know kind of like you want to like run through your team to make it like harder for people, and then I just thought Cap was low, so I shot him.
You're kind of part right with the running away. I do like it. Like I said, I want to make sure that you know what you're doing so you can replicate it, because this was perfect. What you did was you made it so that you're gaining distance away from everybody while also still participating. That is huge. That is huge. You're not trying to do anything in particular. You're just trying to get away. And as you're getting away, you're just doing stuff. But the priority is to space yourself out so far that now you're nowhere near anybody. That is huge.
So then wouldn't you say, instead of kind of like, if you kind of rewind it to like the beginning of the interaction real quick? Yep. So just say, once I see him there, shouldn't I run towards the left?
So you mean like this way?
Yeah, wouldn't that be a little bit better, or no? Because if you look at it, all of my healers are going kind of the same way. So, like, what do you think about that?
Well, you're not really. It's not too bad the direction of which. I will say though, if you do go a little bit too far away, you're just singling yourself out. It's kind of like if a dog is chasing you and your friends. It's kind of like the slowest one gets caught. You don't really want to be the slowest one. So you don't want to single yourself out. I also like this because the cover is instant, and it's not. You don't have to basically go through crossfire to get way over here. It's just more instant. So it was a very good reaction, very good movement, everything was just perfect. I just wanted you to understand why, so you can replicate it, because that type of stuff right there is team fight winning mechanics. So that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. We're going in. What is the one thing that I always say whenever I'm doing videos or doing streams, if you catch them? Maybe you haven't heard me say it, but what do I not like about grouping? Aside from getting hit by stray shots, there's something else.
Like, other than getting hit by stray shots? I'm not sure. Like the first thing that comes to my head is just like you're not taking advantage of the whole map.
That's
But
true.
I would
That's true.
I,
But
I would I would still say that's because you don't want to get hit by stray shots. So like
that's also true. That's also true. What
So,
happens if I'm fighting? Like, what did I just do with Magneto? Like in this particular scenario, don't look at his abilities, but just look at his screen. What did he just do as soon as Thor got past? Right now, what did he just have to do?
he had to turn his camera.
Boom! He had to turn his camera. If we are
right.
grouped, what direction do they need to turn their camera to deal with all of us?
Yeah, nowhere.
But if you're over here, I gotta do this. That opens me up. That opens me up. I'm scared. Oh no, Adam! I just created space. But when you're like this, everyone can just hide behind that. They can hide behind that. They can get healed, and we're all just focusing down that straight line. When you ever play, when you're ever attacking or going to a point or whatever, if you can just start making people look in different directions, you're really helping your team open up. And the easiest way to win games, the easiest way to climb, is to make the game easier for your entire team, especially if you don't even know them. And how do we do that? By just making them look in different directions. You're not out of position when you're doing that. I mean, it looks like you're about to do it anyway, but I just want to add context to it. You're not out of position doing this, right? I mean, well, okay, you went really far, but I just meant like, holy, you went really far, but you're not really out of position. You can still assist with your team, and you could still assist with whatever you want to do over here. But the point is to just get them to stop focusing all their attention and all their cooldowns and all that extra stuff onto your entire team. I mean, you sort of did it there without intentionally doing it, but just kind of have that in mind. I only brought it up because it's something that you really want to learn how to do, especially when you're playing a character that's scary, like Adam Warlock. People respect you. And in order to abuse the respect that they're giving you, you need to start moving your way around and making it so that they have to react to your presence. If you don't do that, you're not really effectively playing the character that well. All right, we're spawning back into it. You really want to try to focus on target priority pushing. You got to figure out who to take out. So we know that Rocket's a key target. We know that Black Panther is a pretty good key target because we're afraid to push because this guy is near. So if we could take out Rocket or Black Panther in this particular scenario, it's very helpful. Remember, we're not really getting anything accomplished. Why? Why did we just say doing that type of stuff is not good?
So we said doing that stuff isn't good because you can't interact with him until he comes out. So waiting for him to come out is kind of wasting time because there's somebody else that you could be dealing with at the moment.
Right. So let's go back and see when you started looking at that guy, and let's see what we could have done in those same amount of seconds. So we'll say here.
There they are.
So about 11 seconds. Oh no, you still do it. It's about 13 seconds before you start playing because he just goes in, right? 13 seconds. We took 13 seconds just looking in a direction. That's a lot of time, especially in a game that is heavily focused on time, right? So let's go back and let's just see what we could have done in those same 13 seconds. A little bit further back. Okay. So we're gonna wait until you actually start pushing. All right, so we're pushing. We're gonna go with them. We're pushing, doing our thing. Okay, maybe we could go this way. Maybe we're here. You feel like you could probably line up a shot and get a KO on that cloak and dagger.
Yeah.
Now, Black Panther is there, of course. You're not going to get a free pass. Or not Black Panther, I'm sorry, Cap. You're not going to get a free pass just walking. But you get more out of this because you're forcing him to react to your game plan. He's not just going to let you do it. He's either going to back out and then go around that way, or he's just going to jump down on you. However, should he be stupid enough to jump down on you when your entire team's there, he's done. He has only one option, and that's to back up and wait for you to get around. But if he's not even worried about you, if he's worried about maybe Squirrel Girl, you're just invisible. and you do the same exact thing. And you just buy time. And as soon as someone does something stupid, like she is asking to get KO'd right now. Like just asking for it. But we can't do anything about it because we're not there. You can't abuse anything if you're not paying attention to them. You weren't even needed. You weren't even needed.
Yeah.
They survived, they had ult, you were chilling. Now let's just say we were positioned in that same spot when he came down. And let's see if we could have done anything in particular. Yeah, they're still kind of chilling. Got a beacon right there that, oh, yeah, we definitely could have popped that. Are you afraid to move forward? Like what's going through your head in those times where you're like,
yeah,
back?
I was kind of afraid because Black Panther was just kind of going crazy.
So were you afraid for yourself or were you afraid for your team?
Both, I think.
Okay. Well, if you're over there to the left, Black Panther's way over there. You're not in any danger of that Black Panther. He's over there.
Yeah.
So then you would be more afraid for your team. But why? Do you know them?
No, but I feel like he was just, like I said, he was just having a really good game. So I think I kind of let that get. But yeah, I don't know what the right wording is for that, but I just kind of let that get ahead of what I really should have been doing. No.
Okay. And let's just say the time that he got those KOs, Magneto actually chunked them, and all he had to do was sneeze on somebody and get the KO. Is he playing well? Or is he just cleaning it up?
I guess he was cleaning up.
Right. So unless you're paying attention to this guy 24/7, which you cannot be, you're not on his screen, you don't know how good he is.
Yeah.
But making the right calls consistently, if you can, you're not always going to, but that is going to do much more for you. Just because they're getting KOs doesn't mean the player is good. And some KOs aren't even worth anything. If you pop that cloak and dagger, and let's just say he KO'd, I don't know, Luna. Okay. They're down a healer, but we still got 2. What's up?
Yeah.
If you were here and you popped that beacon as he got KO'd, they're down somebody. So making the conscious effort to do what's most important would have netted you 2 types of wins. A KO, because I've seen you land your shots, you're definitely good at hitting them, and a beacon. Or a beacon. That's huge. We could have pushed on that.
Yeah.
So the name of the game here is to trust your teammates. They're going to suck whether or not you're babysitting them. Period. Yeah. Right? You got to play your game. I know as a strategist, whether you're doing 3 or 2, you still want to assist, and I get that. But there's a time and place for everything. That dude is just stalling everybody, and that's what he's designed to do. Whether he's going in or not, he's pressuring. Mm-hmm. You can't let that get to you because you know for a fact that the only way he's KOing is if he goes in. Otherwise, bro, you're Michael Myers just staring us down. What's up? Mm-hmm. Right? There's nothing else that he could do. So play your game, do what you need to do. Should he just wipe 3 people all together? Well, he's better. You're not winning. It doesn't matter. Okay? So whether or not you're there, you're just trying to stop. You're basically doing what we did in that first fight. And what was that? Prolonging the KO. If they can't survive without you there, that doesn't mean they can survive with you there. You're just making it so that they survive longer. And then they're going to get KO'd anyway. So do what you got to do. And that will lead you to a lot more positive outcomes for sure. Because you're basically just babysitting. That's all you're doing in this game. I haven't seen you make any proactive plays because you're afraid of the divers. But making no proactive plays it's just kind of like, okay, well, I want to stay in this rank, basically. Because you're supporting people who deserve to be here. So, where are you going to go? You're coin flipping this game. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're swapping to DPS. Okay, we're gaming. I don't think I've ever seen you DPS before. What was your thought process?
I just wanted this Black Panther gone, bro.
That's funny. Well, if you think about it, the only way that Black Panther pulls off anything is if he goes in. So your frontliners weren't really taking a lot of damage, and if they were, it was kind of being healed up by your other supports. You have to use them, you know. You're a support too, cool, but you don't need to heal everything.
Yeah.
You just need to heal what's important. If those guys are healing the little chip damage, let them. You're waiting for Panther to come in. When he comes in, you have 3 cooldowns to abuse. You shouldn't be trying to heal this guy because he punches marshmallows. This guy does no damage. Like, he looks threatening, but he takes 6 hits plus his ability to actually KO somebody. That's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
That should not happen. The only person that can burst you guys is going to be the Black Panther. So every single time that we should be using our abilities is when Black Panther comes in. Otherwise, continue to play the game. Ignore him. The same thing with Spider-Man. The same thing with Magic. Okay, well, I don't know about Magic, but a lot of these characters, like, they have downtime, and you just ignore them until they come in. Every single time. Look at him. Look at him. He ain't doing nothing. Marshmallows. And he runs away. You could have done the same thing without him. But I did notice that there's a lot of times when you were playing him that you were healing. You were trying to soulbind whenever a Cap came in or whenever Mr. Fantastic comes in. But they don't do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So we're just using our abilities to help our team survive, but we're not using our abilities the most efficient way. You don't really need to be that close. I would swap back to Adam after this.
Yeah.
If we win, or if we breach this point. Oh, we don't. Because Mr. Fantastic. That's unfortunate. Alright, so what I would say for this entire game is, first of all, do you. The reason why this game felt so hard is because you weren't doing it. You literally were not doing anything but just along for the ride. Which sucks because you literally know what to do. I've seen you do it. You know what you should be doing at any given moment. But as soon as you seen the Black Panther, like you said, even that first interaction, that's where you just became babysitter.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. It's not your job to make sure that Luna and Rocket survive. They should know how to do it. Luna has a way to be tanky. Rocket has a way to get away. There's no way that Panther should be KOing anybody every single time. It should only be sometimes. And at that moment where you feel like you're needed, then you pop down your heals. Then you pop down your bind. Just real quick, let me take a look at that first fight. And actually, let's just take a peek at all your binds that you probably have used in that first round. Just because I am curious to see what we accomplished with them. Okay, you did it because he came in. Beautiful. Well, I think you were going to do it anyway. He just happened to match it. A little bit further. Okay. He comes in. I'll remember this one. He comes in. And you could heal that. Oh, she ults. That's unfortunate. How did you get KO through that? You were that low?
No, I think I was out of the range.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so we should still be holding on to our heals. Again, you have teammates to heal that chip damage.
Heal that. Yeah.
You just keep healing, and even that was in Cloak and Dagger's ult too. He just finished his combo. We should not soulbind. Okay, good. I was gonna say we shouldn't. He's already done. So you definitely have a concept of like when you should be using them. You're not just popping things willy-nilly, other than the healing. Your bind you definitely try to hold until you really, really need it, and that's respectable. But try to do the same thing with your heals.
Yeah.
You're tossing them out at moments that don't really need to be tossed out. And I think the best way to think about your heals is like, I don't know if you play Doctor Strange, but I was gonna say like a shield. There's more of like a shield.
Yeah.
The more that you use it, the less you have. So you really got to make sure that is it worth healing, because it will probably pop someone from like 20 HP to full if it's a squishy character, especially if it's not bouncing around. So, yeah, I think that's one of them. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think I only really used the Soulbound like twice.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't even have done anything in a lot of these situations. Yeah. So yeah, it's don't let any character that they select get to you. Still play your game. The other thing is understanding how the character works. You weren't playing to it. You just like try to react to him being in. But if you really wanted to play to Black Panther, you would play out of his range. You would also just hold your charge until he commits. Because what happens, let's just say, what happens if I'm standing here, Black Panther goes in, and he's behind you? What is he about to do?
He's gonna come right back.
Right, so if I keep our camera there and we're charging, he's gonna come back the exact straight line. Boom.
Yeah.
Chunked. He's gonna stay there and get KO'd, or he's going to, run away.
Yeah.
Let's see how that actually played out in one of these fights with Black Panther in them.
I have risen. Against the world.
I don't think it was particularly this fight. It was the other fight. Yeah, it was the other one. Let's just go back. A little bit further. A little bit further. All right. See how much we're flipping? Like, if your main goal is to deal with the Black Panther, then you should play to that guy. He's not better than you. He's just playing a character that's hard to deal with. Outsmart him. This is why I can climb consistently. I am not the most mechanical player. Like, I'm not. Okay, I might have some hot streaks every now and then, but like for the most part, I'm just out playing. I'm just waiting for you to do something, because every character works the exact same. It does not change based on whose hands is holding it. It does not change based off what map they're playing. Every character functions the exact same way. You click that button, the reaction happens, period. So play to it. So that's something that I want to see you do more often too. So we have, don't let anything psych you out. Continue to do what you need to do, pressure, take positions and whatnot. The other one is remember to not heal all the damage. Just focus on healing damage that's important. If Magneto does a full combo, it's not going to KO someone. Most likely, they should just be really, really low. And at that point, heal them. Don't heal before that. There's no reason to. And the other thing is just playing towards these characters. You know how they behave. They run in, they do the same thing. They approach you the same way. There is no difference. Whether you're a bronze Black Panther or a one above all Black Panther, they're all going to be doing the same thing. Stalking you. When they come in, doing a combo, they're going to flip their screen, go back, they're going to flip their screen, go back, they're going to flip their screen, go back. It's the same every single time. And that is what you're going to play to, because he has to leave eventually. He can't just stay in there, but he also has to approach. He can't just teleport. So these are all the signs that you're looking for. If you would have done any of this, match was still hard. Like I said, you had one tank. So I don't want you to beat yourself up too much. There wasn't much you can do when situations like this happens. And I've been running into this as well. It's unfortunate, but to improve going forward, those are the things that I would focus on, because those are the things that I would abuse out of you. The fact that you always heal everything, I'm just going to poke you a little bit and just, you're about to snap and heal. You're going to do it again. And then it's like, you have nothing left. What's up? The fact that you don't know how to counter what I'm doing, I can just go in and do what I want. I don't have to be scared of you. You don't know what you're doing, right? Yeah. And so we want to avoid that, right? We don't want that Black Panther to make us feel like we're a fool, because we're not. We're better than this Black Panther. He's just playing a busted character. That's all. Okay. Right? And you just counter that by knowing what he's going to do. So regardless, though, I think the progress that you made was great. Obviously, you're doing a lot of good things, but there's no reason for me to talk about that. So, that's not why you're here. So you're doing a lot of good things. One of the highlights that I just do want to say before we conclude here, one of the highlights is just your repositioning during the fights. Great. You're not staying in a spot. You're trying to avoid the situation. If you just tweak that just a little bit, like I said, playing out of the range of some of these characters, because you already have the fundamentals of moving out of the way and moving into certain areas. You even said it here. Oh, I'm going to move out to the side, up the rock, because I feel like that's a better spot than just sitting here. Yes, just not in that particular scenario, but that was the idea. Yeah. You already understand it at that really basic level, so start evolving that. Once you get to a certain rank, you start to master all the basics, so to speak. Then it's up to you to tweak all those basics, make them even better. And that's how you become that celestial. That's how you become that eternity, that one above all. You do that by just tweaking. There's not much for you to learn. I mean, at this point, we're still learning, of course, but I just mean once you get to that point. So you're doing good, though. You're doing good. Don't let this match get to you. You would have lost this anyway. One tank is not it. Is there any question? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the way I think about rank now, it's all about like minimizing losses. So it's like even if I were gonna lose the game already, like if I can at least do the most I can to just lose a lot slower, then I feel like that's how you rank up. You know what I mean? Because the game, just by the way like matchmaking works, I feel like it's gonna give you wins, but it's about like how can you minimize your losses. So that's what I'm. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, I used to say in League of Legends, I don't know if it works this way, but I used to say that the game is going to give you 50% wins. You're about to win half. They want you to get to 50. Anything lower than that makes people upset. So they're going to try to give you that 50. You're going to lose probably about 40% of your games, unless you're a Smurf. And then you're going to be able to influence at least 10. These are the games where you feel like I'm carrying. I'm the reason why we won. 10% of that should be you. And that's a 60% win rate. Even if you do it 1% of that 10, that's 51. So you're still climbing. So basically what you just said is 100% factual. As long as you consistently play well, as long as because if you can hold even just a small bit of like a game like this where I felt was unwinnable personally, even if you could slow this down, bro, imagine how much you learn from this and then go to the next game where it's an even playing field and you're able to slow it down to the same extent. You're basically carrying.
Yeah.
You're basically carrying, dude. So yeah, that mindset is perfect. I wouldn't change that mindset out for nothing. That's a beautiful mindset to have. It's definitely true. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns you want to mention before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I guess I would just one more thing. I'm sure this will be quick, but remember when I think it was when we were on offense.
Okay.
And like you said, like I peaked way too far out. Like you might go in.
Yeah, I'm about to do it right now. I got you. All right, just let me know when it is.
There are threats ahead even greater than what
I think it's coming through soon.
we are in this together.
And we'll show up. There we go. So okay, so like let's go back like right as soon as I look through the window, I guess. Okay. Yep, so like right here. So because I can't see anybody there right now, that's kind of why I started to like push up further. Should I in this situation just shot at the Magneto, even though he's like a less priority target, but I don't have to overextend as much?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You should only be playing to what you have information on. This is something that I learned to do in League of Legends. Are you familiar with that game at all?
No, man. No, I don't.
Okay.
I played fighting games. I played Siege, but League.
Okay, Siege is great. I can use that.
All right, bet. Yeah. Let's
all right. So with Siege, like the main goal when you're attacking usually is you're slow peeking. You're creeping. You're trying to listen. You're trying to do all that, right? If you can't see someone, most of the time you're going to assume they're there until you have another reason to assume otherwise, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing here.
Okay. Yeah.
You can only see
that
Mac.
makes sense.
So like realistically, where's everybody else at? I don't know. They all could be sitting right here for all we know. I could face check 5 players right now. But why would we?
You know? Now you put that in like Siege terminology, and I'm thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, I just did some dumb stuff. So
if you shot out that Magneto here, it's gonna create space for your team, which is what you're trying to do. And then on top of that, if you would have let it go, you would have heard him. You can also see his shield, so you actually would have had way more cues if you just were a little bit more patient than what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's okay to take your time. Don't get antsy. Don't get frustrated if your team, even if it's like 30 seconds left, just take your time. I promise you will win way more games if you just take a breath. It is something I still struggle with because when I see that clock count down, I'm like, oh my God. We got a team fight, then we got to win the team fight. If anybody gets low, we're going to have to pause on it. But just play it slow. If you would have done what you were doing right now and just played it slow and worked little by little, boom, Mag, you're really low. Okay, you got to back up. Maybe someone can secure that. That's a KO. And you just wait. You just wait until Thor comes in. Thor walks up. Cap just bum rushes Thor. Oh, I'm chilling. Thank you. I appreciate that. And he's taking that aggro for you. But when you're doing this, it's like you're disrespecting the entire team. And it's like, I can do what I want. And that's not true. You can't. Even if I'm playing in bronze, I don't do this. Because I just know, like, even if I'm smurfing, I'm not doing it to just belittle people. I'm actually trying to learn at the same exact time. It just might be a character I don't usually play. And so I respect as much as possible. You had the right idea, as we talked about. You did great. And honestly, if you just let it rip, right? Dude, he was KO'd. There's no way. There's no way. So, yeah, to answer your question, yep. Just if you don't know if you don't know where they are, assume they're always near. Assume they're chilling. League of Legends has bushes, and so you would only know if they're there if you had like a trinket. It's a ward that allows you to see. It's like a light bulb in the bush. So you always assume someone's in there unless you are seeing otherwise on the map. Just like in Siege, you assume someone's around that corner because if you do this, oh, boom, well, I'm out. Like it's like why? You know? So yeah, that is how you would handle that situation.
All right, bet.
All right. Anything else? Anything else?
No, sir. I think that pretty much covered it.
All right, for sure. As always, if you got any questions, just let me know. I always try to check up on your progress just to see how you're doing. But yeah, like I said, you're doing good. I don't see any sign, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna ever be the person that's like, oh, you're doing great, even though you're not. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I think you're doing great on the trajectory that you're going right now. You're learning little by little. You're increasing your skill. And little by little, you're on the right track. You're not there yet, but it's definitely on the right track. So whether or not you got coaching with me again, just know you are on the right track right now. You have not hit a real wall yet. And that's always the best spot to be in. That is always the best spot to be in. So keep it up.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. Thank you, man.
No problem. No problem. Have a good rest of your night.
Yes, sir. You as well.
All right, and to everybody else, as I said before, if you guys would like coaching, click that join button down below. It's right there for you guys. If you guys like free VOD reviews, I have a link down there as well. Check that out if you guys might not be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Might not be able to financially support the channel that way, because that's what coaching is. Obviously, you get coaching, but you are helping to support the channel, and I really, really do appreciate that. If you maybe want to support the channel without buying the coaching, there's also options for that. Click that join button down below. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. Will often.